After watching some of the videos on this channel, you may be wondering, Veeral, why do you care so much about how to think and teaching others how to think? Why can't you just live and let live? Well, my short, sweet, and to-the-point answer is this. How people think determines what they believe. Beliefs inform actions. Actions have consequences. And finally, consequences tend to affect the people committing the actions and others. Emphasis on the word "and" here. Further expanding on these points, the way people think determines their beliefs about reality, including their place within it. People hold certain views based on these beliefs and then act out on them. People don't live in an isolation bubble where the consequences of their actions can only affect them. Their actions can also affect other people, thus, even their own well-being could be negatively affected. This phenomenon is even more noticeable when people who are in positions of power perform actions that affect many people's lives, including your own life. Now, there may be some objections people have in regard to caring about how others think. Some of these objections are as follows. Some beliefs are not that big of a deal. What strangers do in their life isn't relevant to me. And, I'm old. I don't have much time left to care about how others think. I would now like to respond to these objections. Starting off with the first of these, some beliefs are not that big of a deal. Here's my response to that. I would say that whether a particular belief is a big deal is dependent on the person. In an ideal world, people should care about every belief someone has to ensure that other people's beliefs will not harm them nor others. However, in practice, this can be mentally exhausting for someone or even a group of people to do. Given this, I would say people should allocate their attention to certain types of beliefs. What types? Well, these would be beliefs that are likely to lead to actions that will harm them or others. As the potential impact on others goes up, your concern should go up as well. Finally, I would say that even for beliefs that are not that big of a deal, you should focus on the quality of reasoning someone has for that belief. This is because they might be using that same reasoning process for other beliefs that could be a big deal. If others are using processes that aren't reliable ways of determining what is true, then eventually, the decisions that they make from them may become catastrophic. After all, even a broken clock can tell time correctly twice a day, but that doesn't mean that one should rely on it to tell time. Now, for the second objection, what strangers do in their life isn't relevant to me. Here's my response to that. We human beings are very interdependent on one another. Look at examples of the things you have that you didn't achieve completely by yourself. For example, did you build the home you live in, make the food you eat, the clean water you drink, the device you are using to watch this video? This would demonstrate that your life indirectly depends on other people. If their lives suffer, chances are your life will suffer as well. However, maybe if you live off the grid, completely isolated from other people, are you exempt from this? Finally, the third objection, I'm old. I don't have much time left to care about how others think. Here's my response to that. Perhaps people's actions now won't negatively affect your life that much, and thus, you may not care, but what about future generations, such as your children and grandchildren? Do you not care about them? Not to mention, do you know for sure how long you have left to live? Why not make however long you have left more worthwhile to others? Then, you could live a more noble life that will live on in the memories of your loved ones and future generations to come. To close out this presentation, I thought it would be appropriate to discuss what I believe could happen if people paid more attention to how others think. When you closely examine the actions or deeds that individuals engage in that bother you, chances are these originate from their beliefs, not to mention, as I said earlier, how people think determines what they believe. If people are more reflective in their beliefs to ensure that they have a good reason to believe in something, rather than believing in something without a good reason, people can prioritize actions with demonstrable evidence of improving lives rather than engaging in activities solely for the emotional satisfaction they provide. And people can allocate finite resources, for example, time, to things that are demonstrably beneficial, as opposed to things that may not be beneficial. And finally, it just feels nice to help others become better thinkers. With that said, take care and think critically, and please help others do so as well.